Hey, what's happening? I've got a great question for you. Do you think that just because you're not feeling the effects of your type 2 diabetes, that it's okay just to let it slide? What are your thoughts on this? We're going to dive into this. So, for example, you got your type 2 diabetes, they told you about it, but you're not really feeling anything. Nothing you really think you're feeling. Do you think it's all right just to ignore it and you'll get rid of it later? Do you think it's just going to go away by itself? Do you actively look after yourself? Do you think it's time for a change? What changes did you make? When I first got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I asked myself, what effects is this having on my body? How am I feeling? What's going on with it? And then I dug in and found out what it could do to my body. So I wasn't about to sit and just do nothing. I wanted to really take some sort of action and be proactive with it. But it's amazing how many people think you can do nothing because A, they don't even know they have it, or B, they don't feel anything from it. So that is not the way to go. So one of the biggest things I see are people just absolutely just ignoring the fact they have type 2 diabetes. They just move on with life just as everything's fine. Or they'll tell you, yeah, I got it, I gotta take some pills, but I'm working on it. But they're really not working on it. But diabetes is working on them because diabetes will attack when you're not doing anything. It lives for that. It doesn't recognize holidays, it doesn't recognize days off. So when you're taking those and ignoring it, diabetes is going right after it. You got to be really aware. What kind of things can we be doing to prevent diabetes from running through our bodies? Well, there's a number of them. First and foremost, you get into a place like this. I'm at Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, and start exercising. You don't have to go really heavy. Just do anything. Get the blood flowing through your body. Do something as simple as walking. That works really well. You can do yoga in your bed. There's programs for that if you're really immobilized and you can't really get stuff happening for you. The other thing you can do is start looking at your diet, start cutting out the carbohydrates, start cutting out the sugars. The less amount of sugar in your body, the better it is for you. And you got to realize that. You know, you can no longer go and eat the pizzas and the ice creams and the cakes and things along these lines. You might be able to once you get it under control, but let's get it under control first. Those are the first basic steps about fighting your type 2 diabetes. What do I consider the biggest thing you can do once you get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes? I'm in between sets here, so that's why I'm a little out of breath. I think number one is partner with a doctor, and you got to find the right doctor. If you have somebody who's just completely out of touch or clueless, you need to get rid of that person and go get yourself a real doctor. You got to have a doctor that actually knows what's going on with diabetes and knows how to treat it and knows how to coach you and partner with you. You don't want to be just scolded. You want to be partnered with. You have to check your glucose levels, and I mean constantly. Know your body, know your foods, find out what's driving your glucose up. You know, if you're taking meds, are you taking enough? Are you not taking enough? You got to really figure out that side of it, but you've really got to find a doctor you can partner with. You got to be serious about your health, and you got to be constantly monitoring. You've got to watch what you're doing so you can improve it, and then start working on reversing it. We're going to make reversing type 2 diabetes cool. Mark my words, we're going to do this. We're going to do it together. I want you to come along for the ride. So what else can we be doing in our fight with type 2 diabetes? Well, I think besides everything I've mentioned earlier, the number one thing we can do is awareness. Spread the word. Get it out there. So many don't know they have it, and it can be devastating to them. And especially those who aren't feeling any effects about diabetes and what's happening in their system and things like that. We really need to spread the word on awareness, number one, and let's motivate other people who have type 2 diabetes to get up and actually do something, either manage it with their glucose levels, manage it with exercise, whatever the case may be, their food, nutrition, all the way down the line. But let's do something to move this community forward. Please share, please subscribe, and let's get this thing going.